Welcome to Limitless, the Blind Beginnings podcast where seeing things differently inspires limitless possibilities. This podcast is being brought to you by Blind Beginnings, an organization based in Vancouver, Canada, that supports children and youth who are blind or partially sighted, along with their families. Limitless was created in order to inform, educate, entertain, and share stories from within the blind and partially sighted community in order to show the world that the opportunities for those who are blind or partially sighted are truly limitless. And now, it is my pleasure to introduce you to your host, the Executive Director and Founder of Blind Beginnings, Shawn Marcellet.
Welcome back to Limitless, the Blind Beginnings podcast. I'm your host, Shawn Marcellet. Thank you so much for joining us again this week. We have a very interesting conversation today. We're going to be talking about what is beautiful or attractive when you can't see. And I think this will be an interesting topic. And I've got several co-hosts with me today, Nika, John, and Kolby. Welcome back to the podcast.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Why don't you guys remind our listeners just your level of vision, maybe why you were interested in having this conversation? Nika, do you want to start us off?
Sure. So I'm Nika, and my diagnosis is called Peter's anomaly. Basically, I have most of my usable vision in my left eye, and I can see shapes and colors, but can't see small details unless I'm really up close. And I'm really excited for this topic because I love fashion. I even wrote a previous blog all about fashion. And I think it's just a way to kind of express myself. I personally view it as an art form, and kind of like my body is the mannequin and canvas, and kind of the clothes and accessories I wear are the paint that I put on the canvas. And it's just, I don't know, I think it's a cool way to show my personality.
Hi. So I have Ostrom syndrome, and I'm currently totally blind, but I used to be able to see. And I wanted to co-host for this episode because I guess because I love clothes, I love to go shopping, and I often get asked, how do you know what goes together and what you like? So that's why I wanted to do this podcast.
Hey, I'm John. I have rod cone retinal dystrophy. So I have pretty good vision in both eyes, and depending on the light, it'll make it easier or harder. But also because my rods and cones are affected, it does affect some colors. So certain colors like salmon, very specifically, will only look one, or sometimes even regular orange and pink will mix, or turquoise. Look, Nika, I'm putting out the fancy color words just for you.
I know, I'm digging it.
I'm here just for the discussion and the fun.
And I asked John to join us so we'd have the male perspective as well. And of course, I'm Shawn, and I have retinitis pigmentosa. So when I was a teenager, I did have more vision than I do now, but definitely not enough to really see the full picture of what people were wearing, or even really, if I was looking at somebody's face, I couldn't see their body. So I sort of had to choose where I wanted to look because I was looking through a small window of vision. And now I really just have light perception and a little bit of shadows. So really have no idea what people look like, what they're wearing. It is something I feel a little insecure about, maybe more than a little insecure sometimes, because I don't really know how I look compared to my sighted peers, well, compared to anybody, and, what's in style and what isn't. So I thought this would be a good conversation. So let's talk about, how do you learn about beauty? Even just if you've never seen, I guess all of us have seen color. Like John, I would get colors mixed up when I was younger. So I used to read my pencil crayons to make sure that I was coloring things, because I would get purple and brown mixed up, or blues and greens were very similar, orange and pink. So I could see color, but not fully. And Kolby, I'm assuming you could see color.
No, not really.
Okay.
So I could see in shades. So I could tell if a color was lighter or darker, but I had no concept of what a bright color was. And some colors would look really similar to me, so I couldn't tell you which is which.
So because I feel like when you're a kid, everyone always asks you what your favorite color is. And so when people would ask you what's your favorite color, did you have a favorite color?
Yeah, I think I liked pink, and I think that was because I just had things that were that color. Or I saw other people that had things that looked the similar color, and he knew that like it was a color that was available in lots of toys and things.
That's easy for me when I was young, because it was just red, because Power Rangers.
Okay. Yeah. And like a superhero or a character that you love, if they wear that color, then maybe you like that color.
Yeah,
When
I
you're a
was
little
gonna
boy,
say, like,
especially.
I always liked pink and purple just because I was just really into like Barbie, Disney, fairy princess, and that was kind of the color.
Yeah, I feel like I chose favorite colors a little bit around what I heard other people say. I've always really liked sort of a turquoise color. But I would say purple because I heard other people say purple, not necessarily because I liked purple. And then if I was really truly honest, I would say a really bright yellow because that was the color I could probably see the best, or red. But other people never chose red as their favorite color. So I felt like, would I be weird if I thought, if I said my favorite color was red? So
That's interesting, because it seemed like red was for me, but maybe it's a boy thing. I don't know, because like the leader of Power Rangers is red, but also red is like a really big, vibrant color. It's like Superman's cape is red, but also like Clifford the Big Red Dog is bright
yeah,
red.
it's true.
And then Canada's color is red and white, but I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah,
if you ask boys, that it seems to usually be red.
or blue.
Red, and that's the other thing. It's red versus blue usually because of games and things, but those two are the ones that people will generally pick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my son, his favorite colors are green and gold. I don't know where that came from
I mean,
and
hey,
why.
maybe he just likes my high school colors.
Maybe it's a Star Wars thing. Did you ask that question?
Oh, that could be. Yes, that could be. So, okay, so that's color, but what about like what's attractive? What's beautiful? How do we learn? How did you learn what was beautiful in terms of physical appearance?
I think that beauty is subjective, and I think there are definitely things that we've kind of been conditioned to think is beautiful in society, which I personally don't agree with, just because I think everyone is unique as an individual. And for me, when I'm thinking of attractiveness in someone else, like I kind of like, I guess, things that are more unique or uncommon. And for me, personality always outweighs beauty and looks, but I view beauty as more of an added bonus. So, for example, brown eyes are the most common eye color genetically. So I'm just naturally very intrigued and attracted by the idea of having blue, green, or hazel eyes, especially hazel eyes, because I don't know what they look like, but people describe them to be as kind of multicolored, like a mix of brown and green and blue and gray, like all together. And that just sounds really aesthetically pleasing to me.
Interesting. Okay. So anything that's sort of not common.
Yes.
What about you, Kolby?
I would have to agree with Nika. Like, I think we're definitely kind of taught from a young age that certain things are beautiful, and ideally, I also feel like personality is important when you're interested in somebody else. And for me, personality is really important. And like, I think looks can be important, but I don't think they're like totally everything.
What do you find attractive, John?
I was hoping Nika would say beauty is the eye of the beholder, but
I don't
Well,
do
it
the
is.
quotes.
yeah, in terms of what you find beautiful, in that, what I think is like, because that's that first impression kind of thing. What makes you look at someone if you can see or have enough vision or notice something?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, well, I think of it as like how you just how flowers have different colored petals. You see something colorful, and you go look at it, and you decide, oh, that flower is pretty. And so one of the things I can notice easily with the vision I have, depending on the light and the situation, is a hairstyle. If like
Mhm.
I can turn my head, like you can tell when the girl's when their hair is up or it's down or if it's different. Like one of my friends in high school, I would always notice like she's switching her hairstyle up. That was the first thing I would like notice, because like you see their face, but I can't see the details of the face, but I can see that their hairstyle is different.
Mhm.
And that was always something that I would that like literally like that's like the petals to me, like the first thing I look at. And also I guess hair color too, because it's for contrast sake, it's a lot easier for me to see blonde hair, brown hair sometimes, and see what it looks like compared to if it's dark out, or if it's the lights aren't good and it's like dark hair, it's hard for me to tell. If it's like eye color, I can't see your eye color unless I'm like sitting right in front of you. That was the I can't remember how I did that. I was like, if people ask me, "Can you see what my eye color is?" I'm like, "Sure, but I'm gonna be right up in your face if you're comfortable."
Yes. So, what about knowing whether you are attractive yourself?
This is something that I personally really struggle with, just because I know by societal standards that I'm not considered attractive. I mean, for one, like my eye condition does affect my eyes, their appearance, and they don't look kind of typical or normal. That's kind of the one area of my visual impairment that I'm actually self-conscious about, is the way they physically look. Also, in some countries and places, women who are more curvier are actually favored and preferred. Unfortunately, not so much in North America. So, and I am a more overweight or full figured woman. So I think that's kind of something I struggle with as well. And this is why I try to focus on enhancing my natural beauty with clothes, just because, at least the way I feel, is I don't have a lot of the societal standards of naturally what's considered attractive.
Mm. Okay, so how do you know that you are more curvaceous or more overweight or any of those things? Like, can you tell that by looking at other people, or have you learned that, or how have you learned that?
So I am able to tell kind of other people's weights by looking at them. Not exactly, but kind of generally. I also see a doctor, and my doctor did tell me like I'm in the overweight category. And just kind of watching YouTube videos of people describing like, oh, I have tight arms, and when I feel my arms, I feel extra flap. Or when people talk about like a washboard flat stomach, I'm like, oh, mine's like bulging out. So that's kind of like
Mm.
using these descriptions, I can tell like, oh, okay, I'm clearly overweight.
Yeah, I've kind of learned to go by sizing in a store. Like if there's size 0 and there's size up to whatever, and I'm like a 10, well, then, where am I on the scale then? I guess I'm somewhere in the middle, but on the higher end or something. But it is hard because for me, unless I'm going to walk around and hug everybody in my class, I'm not going to know where do I rank
Yeah.
on the size
Yeah,
scale,
it's
right?
also hard when you're like really short, because background context for our listeners is that I also look heavier than I am because I'm only 4'10" and a quarter. So a lot of times I can fit into clothes that are a small, even though I don't look like someone who would be a small, but it's because my height kind of compensates for my weight.
Yes,
The other-
good
the
point.
curious thing about your size thinking in the store, Shawn, is that's the sizes in North America. If you go to Asia, the size chart changes.
Right.
So it's kind of
Yes.
entertaining because it's like I'm normally a medium, but I can't fit into this medium because this is like Japan's standard medium.
Well, it can range from store to store here too. In
Yeah.
some stores, I'm a
Yes.
smaller size and I like to shop at those stores just
Yeah,
because I
and
can
it
have the
depends on
label.
the cut of the clothing too. Like in some fitted stuff, you might
Yeah,
want to size up.
And even for me as a guy, when I was younger, my mom kept buying large things because like, oh, you're gonna grow into it. And eventually, at some point in my 20s, I realized I don't need to be wearing large shirts anymore. I can actually fit into a small for certain things. It's just like it depends on what kind of comfort do I want. Do I want a shirt that's perfectly snug, then small. If I want to be a little more comfortable, then medium. If I want loose, depending on what kind of clothing it's for, what it's for, where I'm gonna wear it, or it's like again like comfort to me.
Yeah, see, that's an interesting thing because I feel like if I dressed for comfort, I don't know that that would be attractive. So, and maybe it's different male versus female
So it's most
traditionally.
definitely different.
Yeah. So, John, how do you know
Yeah.
how you compare to other guys?
Well, that's the other thing. Uh, because as you all know, I'm an athlete, so I do all this training and stuff. So even in high school, elementary school, I played a lot of sports. I ran around a lot, so I never saw that stuff with overweight and things like that. So I figured I was at least at the normal, like I
Mm.
looked decent. And then that part's like I don't really know because I always like the female friends that say, "Oh, you look good, you look bad," it's like this or that. People have different opinions on what looks good on guys, and then your typical TV show guys that you're looking at, they're all sculpted, like really muscular and all that stuff. And I'm like, how much am I compared to that at a curiosity's sake? Because I don't really know.
Hmm.
It's like I just know that I've got decent muscles.
Yeah. So getting feedback from other people is a big one, definitely.
Yeah.
Kolby, what about you?
So I would say I'm definitely a larger person. And it's taken me a while, but I'm actually a lot more comfortable in my skin being a larger person than if I was a lot skinnier. And for me, when I buy clothes, I actually don't really care what the size is as long as it fits me.
So
I wish I
one,
had your confidence.
I was
Having confidence is important in that kind of shopping context. I mean, I just recently went shopping with two female friends, and we were just looking at the racks where it's like, okay, they just got all these things, and you're just picking things out. But I was constantly asking, "Do you think this looks cute? Do you think this looks cute?" And it's like, "But feel this, feel that." And they're both talking about how like, oh, right now because of the pandemic, I've gained a bit of weight and all this stuff. So it's like, do I want to buy this now? Do I want this? It's like, but it's like, again, we pretty much just had a discussion about, well, do you like it first? And it's like, and she agrees, and we agree that it looks pretty good, and it actually is nice material. And then you look at the price, and it's like, okay, I'm just get that because it's a decent price right now.
Yeah, that's really so I always go clothes shopping with somebody and it'll be my mom or it'll be a friend. And I will be feeling the items on the rack and I'll feel something because I like the material and I kind of have checked out the style and I'll pull it out and I'll say, what color is this?
Yes, that's
Right?
me too.
Yeah. And then sometimes it's not a good color.
No.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, damn, but the fabric is nice
Yeah.
and I like the style. But, the immediate response is just no, like, no,
Yeah.
that's not going to be good. So, or that looks too old for you, or that looks too young for you, or that's whatever. Right. So
It doesn't help that it's your mom.
no,
Yeah.
My
but
mom does the same thing sometimes. It's like,
but I want somebody to be honest. I want,
Yeah.
like, I don't want to walk around wearing some lime green shirt because nobody told me,
Yeah.
yeah. Also in
I
that
feel
honesty,
very
that-
attacked because I love wearing lime green shirts.
oh, sorry.
Yeah. I've
but
I
is that
saw
mom?
some
Is that
clothing
mom
and
honesty?
I love it. And then I'll pull it out and be like, Mom, what color is this? And she'll say, oh no. put that back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes. Is that mom honesty the problem? There's the mom honesty, there's a bit of a generation gap, and then it's like, well,
Okay, so that's bringing back a memory for me. I went shopping with my two friends in high school. The first time I ever went shopping with friends for clothes. And I came home with an outfit, pants and a top, and I tried it on for my mom and she said no, that all needs to go back. So I sort of learned, like, she kind of said, I don't know that you should trust your friends if they told you that looks good on you, because it doesn't. So then I kind of learned that maybe I shouldn't go shopping with friends, or certainly not these particular friends, and that I should only trust her. So for a long time, that's the only person that I really trusted to decide my style for me. But of course, she's my mom, so she's not going to be up to date on the latest styles.
She's not gonna let you wear that skirt. It's way too short for you.
Yeah, exactly. There's none of that.
That's like the problem, is that in a way I have people in my life who refuse, like, who basically think that I can do no wrong and think everything I wear is pretty. But then I also have people in my life who are more conservative, who are more into modest dressing, who kind of make it their life mission to be against everything that I choose to wear. So I actually trust strangers in the street with my fashion. So I have these shoes and they're lace-up black sparkly sneakers. And I wasn't sure if they were like too out there or not. I got them for a Christmas present. And every time I go out, without fail, I get compliments on them. Or even with my hair, like I've had kind of some people in my family say, oh, it's a bit much, it's my hair is red, and they're saying, oh, maybe make it a more toned down red. But then every time I go out, especially when I get my hair redone and touched up, without fail, I always get a compliment from multiple strangers at least, and they don't have to give me those compliments, they don't have to say anything. So that kind of makes me feel like, oh, if they feel like enticed to say it, then it must be pretty like beautiful.
Yeah, that's a good point. Getting compliments is definitely another one of the ways that we can learn whether we're attractive or not, or what looks good or doesn't, right? If people are pointing out, oh, I like that top, or you look really nice today, or oh, you got your hair cut, it looks really good. Those kinds of things are another way to kind of cue us that, oh, okay, this is a check mark in the right direction.
Or at least that particular person likes it.
Yeah, that's so true.
Because in my story of that, because just for fun for the pandemic, I'm just growing out my hair because why the heck not? I'm never going to grow it out this long before, so why? At first, my mom didn't like it, but then when I went to my physiotherapy clinic, the lady there was like, "Oh, that looks so good. You should keep doing that. The girls love that." I'm like, "Huh? Okay. I don't know."
How long is her hair?
And who do you want to believe, your mom or?
But I think, but the funny thing about that is, I'm pretty sure that their ages are pretty close.
Okay.
So it's kind of funny, but it's like, well, this is what my mom thinks. This is what the lady at the clinic thinks, and it's not even just that lady that come like one of the massage therapists. He's like, "Oh, I remember when I grew my hair. It's looking good, bud." I'm like, okay. And Kolby, to answer your question, it's like, I don't even know how to say that. It's at least 9 inches, I think, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Where on your body? Shoulders, mid back? Like, what are we talking here?
I was like, what do you want me to count? The vertebrae? It's like 4 vertebrae down.
Okay.
I mean, I'm into medicine, so that makes sense. 4 vertebrae down.
From the C, from what is it? The C3 or the C4 is the big one. It can touch like the 3rd one down from that.
Yeah, C4.
Yeah, this is turned into a medical show, not
yes. So who do you guys trust to tell you the truth about your appearance?
I would say, I trust my sister the most. And then my mom is pretty good. And my friends are also pretty good too. I do not trust my dad. I've learned after a few things happened.
Oh,
do we have some horror stories?
Did he let you leave the house?
Yeah.
In a bad situation?
In a red red top and pink pants.
Oh no!
Yeah. It was
Okay,
a
so
long
that's
time ago, but
that's an example of like, I just know you're not supposed to wear red and pink together. I don't.
Color
Yes.
clashing. Are we gonna just
Yeah,
color clashing now?
yes.
right. Like we do learn whether you can see or not
Mhm.
the rules, right? There are some rules about what shouldn't be worn together and what should. But then sometimes nowadays people are like anything goes, and you're kind of like, really anything? Like there must be some rules around this anything.
Anything goes if you don't care what other people are gonna say about
Yeah.
What about you, Nika? Who do you trust?
I mean, it's hard because the only sighted person in my life who actually kind of gives me advice is my mom.
Mhm.
And I think with some things she agrees, and some things when she explains why something looks bad, it makes sense. But then there's other times where I'm like, okay, like just because you don't like black and navy together doesn't mean I can't. She says something doesn't look good on me, let's say, because it accentuates your stomach or your bust is sticking out more, like that makes sense to me. But then when she says something like, oh, this color doesn't match, that more so doesn't make sense to me because I'm very eclectic and I love matching colors.
Mm.
Sometimes I'll ask my aunt for fashion advice. I think she's pretty up to date with things.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I trust my mom, but I also recognize that she's only 18 years older than me. So but that's still, a fair amount different. My sister, when we were younger and lived in the same house, would definitely be the one to let me know if I was doing something wrong in terms of fashion. Like, Shawn, those jeans went out 10 years ago. You shouldn't be wearing them anymore. That, like, she would just be brutally honest. So that was nice. And I do have couple of friends now, actually. I've started testing out a new friend who I've gone shopping with, and I trust her. And I've even called her up to ask her advice about certain things when I'm trying to figure out what to wear to this or that. But everyone has a different idea. One of my friends decided I needed more color in my wardrobe, and she made it her mission to find me more colorful things to wear for a while. So then you kind of wonder, is my sense of style their sense of style? Like, what is my sense of style? What do I actually like? Am I just wearing this because somebody told me it looks nice, or do I actually like it? It's so complicated.
And I think we do, in a way, kind of base our style off of other people. I think everyone does, even when you see your favorite celebrity wear something. Or I watch a lot of YouTube videos at the beginning of every season and kind of see what my favorite fashion influencers are wearing.
So how do you decide? Like, are you going based on what you see other people wearing? Are you going on how it feels on your body, how comfortable it is? Like, how do you guys decide what style you're going to go with?
For me, I would say it's a bit of everything. Um, it has to feel okay. Like there's some materials I cannot stand touching or wearing.
Mhm.
So that has to be all right. Comfortable is important. And then sometimes if somebody else is wearing it, I'll try it. But even if it is in style and I've tried it and I just don't feel comfortable in it, then I won't wear it again.
I guess I have a couple of set things, like obviously depending on where you're going, you're gonna dress a certain way or whatever, and like whatever the weather is. But it might just be easier. Well, no, it definitely is easier for most guys just to be like, okay, I'll just put these jeans on because they're either black, blue, and that's just like good for everything kind of thing, and then shirt that's comfortable. And it's like, yeah, it kind of just depends on what you're going for that day, where you're going out with. Like if you're just going out with friends, you're comfortable wearing your like baggy clothes or whatever. If you're going out clubbing, it's like you got things that look a little nicer, they fit a little tighter. Well, I used to never really think about that kind of stuff because I also had a lot of shirts that have like different pictures or things on them, logos or icons or stuff on them. When I was younger, I wore a lot of those. And so, yeah, for me, it really depends on where I'm going, what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm, I guess, kind of similar to Kolby because I do a bit of everything, and my clothing kind of is a hodgepodge of basically 5 different people's closets all in one. And if you know me in person, my personality, like if I had to describe it, would be, I don't know, weird, out there, like edgy, like kooky, like I don't know. And that's just kind of my clothing. So I have shirts that say pretty outrageous quotes on them, like exercise. I thought you said extra fries.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I have very bright colors, very neon in your face, like burning your eyes like the sun. I love food on my clothes. So like I have like a pizza socks. I have avocado socks. I have like a shirt that is covered in like pretzels and hot dogs and hamburgers. That's just my thing. I don't know. It's weird, but it makes me feel so happy. I love wearing formal clothes. I love wearing business kind of professional clothes too, because I like the way silk and satins and stuff feel. I love wearing thick cable knit sweaters and cardigans just because I think every single knit sweater and cardigan I own feels slightly different. And I don't even have to look to see what color it is to figure out what I'm wearing.
Mm-hmm.
I also love sometimes just wearing sweatpants and hoodies because I'm comfortable in them. And I think it's important to look cute and comfortable. And sometimes I have sweaters that, let's say, look really cute because they have sparkly thread woven throughout them. But then when I put it on, it feels really comfortable. So it kind of gives the illusion that I'm putting in more effort than I really am.
Wow. Okay, so I have to ask this question because for me, I worry. I feel, and I've mentioned this before on the podcast and been a little criticized for it, but I do feel like I'm representing on behalf of the blind community. So when I'm out in the world with my white cane, which I am always with my white cane, and people see what I'm wearing, they're going to make assumptions based on the fact that I'm blind. So if I was wearing a shirt with pretzels and I don't know, whatever all over it, I would feel super like I actually have a t-shirt that has eyeglasses on it all over it, which I thought was really funny and ironic. And I've been afraid to wear it because I feel like, I don't know, people are going to be like, do you think glasses are going to help you? You're blind. Like, why do you have a shirt with glasses on it? Like, are you intentionally making fun of people who wear glasses? Like, I don't know. I just get like way too much in my head about it. And so then
Obviously you wouldn't wear that shirt to work usually.
Yeah, like there's definitely
Yeah.
like I don't wear my pretzel shirt like when I'm, I don't know, giving a speech or something.
right. Okay.
Although if
Yeah.
you could wear that glasses shirt at a vision conference, I think the teachers would get a joke out of it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or
Yeah.
even like if you go to the gym or you like running, is it kind of like a stretchy cotton shirt?
No, it's not really a working out shirt. It's, and I have worn it. I wore it in the summer because it's comfortable and it was good on in the hot weather. And anyways, but it's just, it took me a while. I feel like the first year I had it, I didn't wear it because I was just worried about it. But that's my thing. Like I'm always, I worry a lot. And I also feel like I have to match my wardrobe to the shoes that I'm going to wear. So sometimes I'm choosing my shoes before I'm choosing what I'm wearing because I'm commuting and I'm going to be walking. And so they, they need to be comfortable, but then still fashionable in some way, but then also go with whatever I'm planning to wear. And I just find getting dressed really challenging.
Sorry, that's not a guy problem, generally speaking.
I know.
The same shoe.
I'm kind of jealous, John.
Unless I'm going somewhere that requires me to wear my dress shoes, then yes. Besides that, I'm wearing runners almost all the time.
Oh, yeah, no. So I don't know, ladies, do you guys, am I on my own out here on this island of worrying about my wardrobe?
I mean, I don't know if your island is super populated, but I know I'm on it as well.
I'm
Thank
sure
you.
it is. I'm sure it is.
But I feel like when you describe your wardrobe, Nika, I'm so like I admire you and your boldness, and you're not afraid to wear something really bright colors, or shirts with things on them, or like you're just, it's very brave.
I think it comes in waves. Like I do have kind of my moments where I basically wear just a gray hoodie and black leggings and I like to blend in. And there's times that I do kind of feel ashamed of my style. And I think, it just kind of like depends, like kind of like moods and emotions. And also, let me tell you, neutral shoes are the key because I know that when I wear black or brown shoes, that they will go with any of my bright colors.
Should we talk about some of the fall fashions? Tell us, Nika, what are some of the things that are fashionable? And I feel like I'm going to have some questions.
Okay, so something that is considered fashionable and I'm really excited are thick cable knits. So like cable knit dresses, sweaters, jackets.
Yeah, I think I understand that, but I feel like I read something about cable knit pants.
Yeah, those are a bit like to each their own. I don't know. I feel like I'd be scared to wear those.
Sounds a bit odd to me.
Because I almost feel like at least I feel like they're kind of bulkier, so it would almost make me look more bottom heavy.
And then what the heck do you wear with it? If you're wearing a sweater on your legs.
Oh my gosh, that better be for winter.
Yeah, but what do you wear on top? It's just so confusing to me. Okay, what's another one?
So another one, and I actually want your opinions on this because I'm just confused, which is basically bringing back the 20s. So essentially, basically wearing low-rise pants and like crop tops that literally show your whole entire midriff.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
I'm
think
just
that's
like,
the 90s, not the 20s, or maybe it's the 80s. I don't know, Shawn.
It was definitely a thing since the 20s. I think in the 20s you weren't allowed to show that much skin, but yeah, you're not going to. I think we also need to remind like age, how old you are matters in some of these styles. Like I don't think somebody in their 40s maybe is walking around with their midriff on display, but maybe they are. Maybe they have.
Unless they're perfectly sculpted, in which case show those off.
Yeah, I guess.
and what I don't understand is these are fall and winter trends, but who would want to wear a crop top in the fall or winter?
Well, in Vancouver, it stays pretty sunny till November. You could get away with it if it's a sunny day.
I don't think you would get away in the Kootenays with it.
Well, so yeah, not mountainous places.
I would be cold. And then you still have a jacket on. No one's going to see it anyway. I don't know. I don't understand.
Yeah, fashion makes no sense.
Yeah. Sometimes. I personally don't like low-rise pants.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm not a huge fan of jeans either. So, yeah, I probably won't be doing that.
I love jeans. They're my favorite thing to wear. I just recently purchased something. So I went to get a new pair of jeans and they were like, do you want to try the boot cut, the skinny jeans, the boyfriend jeans? I'm like, what are boyfriend jeans? Boyfriend jeans are the best.
Oh, well, what are they?
They're a bit of a higher waist and they're comfortable and their cuffs were rolled up. So I think it's supposed to look like you're wearing your boyfriend's jeans. So they're kind of like, they're fitted, but loose fitted. So they're not like skinny jeans, but they're kind of tapered at the bottom, but not clinging to you. I don't know. They're just like the most comfortable jeans I've ever bought. And I love them. So I'm a big fan of boyfriend jeans.
I might have to try those.
Yes, but
I'm gonna say yeah.
But that's the problem. Like, okay, when did boyfriend jeans become a thing? And how am I supposed to know that? And next year, will they still be a thing? Or do I have to get rid of them and go back to like skinny jeans or low-rise jeans, or it's just, can we not just wear all the same jeans?
I could tell you I haven't bought any new jeans in a long time. And yeah, they still fit. I don't. They're the same color. To me, it's like whatever. I'm wearing these for most things. The only reason I personally had to buy jeans was because one of my female friends said, "You need black ones for clubbing. We're gonna go buy you some jeans." We did. So they're specifically my clubbing jeans, or my like I gotta put these jeans on because for nice things. If I'm not wearing dress pants, because they're like tight and I don't like tight. It's hard to get my legs over those damn things.
Right.
You know how many pairs of jeans, like, you're looking for sizes. My brother's just passing me jeans. Can't get that over my quads. Next pair. Eek.
I'm glad to hear that happens to guys too, because
Well,
yeah.
Well, the other one that's really mainly with that is usually soccer girls, because soccer girls have really big shins because for soccer. So if you get, there's a whole bunch of funny YouTube videos or memes about that. Like, you have to buy loose jeans because they might fit at the waist, but they're not getting past your calves.
Yes, or like knee-high boots. When you have bigger calves, I had to find like elasticy ones to be able to zip them up.
Yeah, honestly, when it comes to kind of basic things like boots or jeans, I don't really keep up with what is nice or not, just because for one, I have to always hem my jeans, which is just extra money I don't want to pay. So I always just have my one pair of jeans and my one pair of knee-high boots, and kind of wear them anyway. That's what I do at the beginning of each season, is actually look at what's in and what isn't, and I basically just pick and choose what I like from it, because skinny jeans were really in the early 2000s, and apparently skinny jeans went out of style for like a few years and no one told me about them. And now
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, I didn't know that. And then a couple years ago, they came back in. Although now, listening to you talk, Shawn, now I think the skinny jeans might have gone out of style again without me knowing.
But then the other thing about that is, who decides when something goes in?
Well, that's
very fashion people.
Yeah.
That's where it's like, I don't care. These are comfortable. They don't. It's not like I'm wearing stars and striped jeans. They're straight blue. They don't look weird. I'm like, they look normal. I don't. The cut is the same. It's like, you have fashion people. You just find a way. Like, I understand you love what you love, but the people who make that, you all crazy.
Well, and who has money to buy the latest style of jeans every year? Jeans can last for decades if you take good care of your clothes.
And those jeans that are out of style now are probably going to come back in style in 5 years.
And how big are our closets that we have to keep all this stuff for when it comes back? I think my friend told me you can still wear skinny jeans, but they're not really the latest fashion anymore. But it's not like you have to. But I was nervous about it. Like, can I still go out in my skinny jeans? Oh, it's so hard.
As long as you wear them and no one complains. If someone on the street actually came up to be like, "Yo, those skinny jeans are like out of fashion, yo."
Yeah, but
then maybe you might want to think about it.
But nobody would say that to me as a person who is blind. Nobody's going to walk up to me and say, "Oh, I just want to tell you that, those jeans are not in style." They'll just make an assumption that, oh, she doesn't care because she can't see. I don't know. That's what I worry about. Like, I don't want to be walking around in the world wearing something that's gone out of style and portraying this image that I don't care, because I really actually do care a lot what people think, and I care how I look and how it comes across. So
I also don't think too many people that don't have besides the compliments that people will automatically just do because someone looks good in that. I feel like there aren't as many people that are even going up to other sighted people saying, unless it looks really bad. But then sometimes people just don't want to bother going up to that person because they might think they're crazy. It's like, I don't think I've ever seen someone go up to a random stranger and be like, "That doesn't look good," because then you just seems like you're going to try and start a fight in the middle of the street with a person that they're wearing.
Yes. No, I don't think
blind
people
or
do
not.
that. Yes.
Yeah. Nobody said anything. Nobody said anything to me when I wore the red and pink together. So
maybe they were just too embarrassed on that one.
Yeah, maybe.
I did have a situation one time. I went to work. This was like before Blind Beginnings days, but I went to work in an outfit and my friend at work did say, I wouldn't wear that together. And I so appreciated that. So for everyone listening, and I think I speak on behalf of all of us, like I definitely want to know if you know me and you see me wearing something and you're like, oh, Shawn, that's embarrassing, or you shouldn't wear that together, please tell me. Don't tell me in front of the whole group, but please take me aside.
Send her a text.
Maybe wait till I've gone home if we're out somewhere, because if you tell me while we're out somewhere, I'm going to just stress about it the entire night and I'm not going to enjoy myself. But after the fact,
Shawn gets home, gets like 10 texts. Shawn, I saw you on the Skytrain today and I had to tell you, never wear that again.
Yeah, because even jackets, like I've had the same jackets, like winter jackets for years and years and years, because you only wear it, for a little while and then it's not the season anymore. And when you're an adult, it fits you forever, kind of. So it's like, is this like I've had one jacket in my closet that I absolutely loved and thought was super cute, but I've had it for probably 15 years and I haven't worn it the last few years because I'm not sure if it's still acceptable. So there needs to be this kind of a business where you call someone and they come over and they go through your closets and give you the.
I was gonna say, Shawn, can I just raid your closet?
Sure, yeah. Come help me, Nika. You're just not exactly my age, so I don't know like how up you are on the style for the middle-aged woman.
Since I was gonna say, since she is younger, she will know what's in fashion. You just need to figure out if you want to wear that.
But I don't want to walk around dressed like a 20-year-old either. Like I
No, like I have an idea, like there's kind of general rules of like a rule of thumb of what looks good on anyone, like kind of sweaters, like nice professional sweaters. Like I know, Shawn, that you're a professional and you go to work, so like kind of what things you'll need.
Okay, we'll talk. All right. So to wrap this up, what are you attracted to? I'm curious what each of you is attracted to, whether it's a physical thing or so for me, I can't really see what people look like. So voice is big. Smell is important.
Oh, I'm not gonna stand near Shawn anymore. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, if you stink, then I don't want to be anywhere near you. So that's kind of a deal breaker for me. But it's more about like, do you take care of yourself? I don't know, more than what you actually look like. Like, what's your lifestyle like? If somebody is a smoker, I can smell that and I don't like that smell. So then that's kind of a turnoff, and they might be the most attractive person ever, but that smell is kind of something that makes me think unattractive. So just as an example.
And before talking about that, I want to kind of bring out the thought that me and some of the other blind guys had talked about before, is what they call the elbow test. Do you know what I'm talking about, Shawn?
Oh yeah. You can tell a lot about a person by their elbow, for sure.
So, yeah, when us blind people or low vision people are getting guided by someone, you can get a decent amount of information about that person just by holding on to their arm.
Mm-hmm.
You can?
Yeah, you can tell like how tall you are, your basic sort of
like if they're
size.
Like if they're act like it actually, even for one of my college friends, because like when he got into college, he didn't exercise at all, so he's like really thin. And then the last couple of years, he started actually working out a bit. So you can tell, you've been working out there, bud.
Mm-hmm. The skinny elbow versus the bigger elbow, or how hairy if you're a man, or usually man. Usually women don't have hairy arms. Do you have soft skin, dry skin? Like you can tell quite a lot.
Yeah, you can generally tell a person's general weight, because like if you're pretty much just grabbing on bone, you're skinny for sure, but maybe you're underweight. If someone's really gotten really heavy, you can tell very easily. We should just have a whole podcast on the science of the elbow.
We don't want sighted people getting insecure about guiding us, though. Everyone's going to be worrying about whether their elbow measures up.
Yeah, but Shawn, we're already insecure about what we're wearing when we go out as blind people. We should put some insecurity into them.
I guess so.
An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth.
An eye for an elbow. That's what it is.
Anybody else want to share what they think is attractive?
You just brought something up actually with the smell, because OMG, Axe body spray does not do it for me. Nope, I can't. And there's this hair product that my hairstylist uses that smells exactly like it, and I'm just like, no. Another thing would be hair. So I'm really attracted to either very long or very thick hair. Probably because I can see it better. I think that might have something to do with it. Also, height. I am attracted to just people who are taller than me, which isn't really that hard to do, but I'm just putting it out there.
Well, for me, yes, definitely height is important. I like a guy that's taller than me. Yes, smell has to smell good, and not like Axe either.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go here. Axe does not smell good. We're just gonna put that out there.
Yeah.
Blind Beginning does not endorse Axe.
Blanket statement.
I don't want to offend any of the Axe wearers, so I'm just going to remain quiet on this topic.
And I would agree with you, Shawn. Like voices, also some voices really can be a turnoff. Yeah.
Hair is something I'll notice right away because just like when you're walking around, you can see people's hair easily, the style, and just like bright colors will direct my vision there, and I like attraction is always a interesting thing. Like we said before, personality. If you actually talk to people and get to know them, you'll know right away, and you'll just like learning about people, their accents or stuff. But I don't know. If someone's wearing like a nice dress, long legs is always something I always look at too for some reason, just because it's easy. Like I don't know if it's contrast, it's easy to see.
Oh yeah, an accent. That's a nice one too.
Yeah, everyone loves accents.
I like the Irish accent.
Hey, Derek, practice this.
Well, so I mean, we're talking about what attracts you. That doesn't mean that's what you're going to choose. It's just like for a sighted person, you might be attracted to somebody's appearance, but that's obviously you're going to choose to be with that person for more reasons than just what they look like, right? So this is just, I just want to be clear. Like, I don't think I've ever been with anyone who ticks all the attraction boxes necessarily for me, but because at the end of the day, that's not the most important thing. It's just what attracts me in the first place. So if I'm in a restaurant and I have a server and he's got a really hot accent, then I'm going to notice that. I don't know anything else about him. I don't know how old he is. I don't know what he looks like, but it catches my attention. Right. So,
and the best analogy for this whole attraction discussion is the bumblebee to the flower, or like anything to flowers, because it's like you learn in the science, like the certain flowers will attract bees more, so all that stuff. And generally when people are going out, depending on what you're dressing out for, you're trying to attract people. And like that's what all this is about. It's like for us people with low vision, no vision, different things will attract us. Like I said before, like I see hair first thing is first, because can't see your face from that far away, but I might be able to see your hairstyle. Yeah. I'll definitely be able to tell if a girl's wearing pants, shorts, or a dress, because it's like, well, like your clothes are darker than for generally your skin tone, unless you're the opposite, in which case. But contrast to me is what will make me look in that direction first.
I guess I would just say that if you are attracted to somebody who is blind or partially sighted, I mean, that's a whole other topic that we'll talk about another time, but the conventional ways of getting our attention are not going to be based in what you're wearing or the smile across the room.
Yes, please don't wink at us from across the room. We are not going to see that.
Yes, we're not going to smile at you across the room either. We're not even going to notice you unless you come and speak to us. So yeah,
maybe pass us your elbow. That's what we should start out.
Oh dear. Okay. Well, thank you for joining me for this discussion. I think this is an interesting topic, hopefully, for people. And I certainly learned a lot about you guys. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for coming
Thanks.
with this episode and letting us be on it.
You've been listening to Limitless, the Blind Beginnings podcast. If you have a question, a comment, a future topic request, please send us an email to limitless@blindbeginnings.ca. Like, subscribe, share our podcast with a friend, and please join us next time.
This podcast has been brought to you by Blind Beginnings, an organization based in Vancouver, Canada, that supports children and youth who are blind or partially sighted, along with their families. Music for this podcast is composed by Shawn Bishop and Clement Chow. Production and audio editing by Rob Minot. For more information about Blind Beginnings and the work it does to support children and youth who are blind and partially sighted, along with their families, visit us on the web at www.blindbeginnings.ca, and also remember to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next time.